ourselves. But sometimes we are just, focused on pharmaceutical companies, medicine here, medicine there, without realizing the power of fruits, veggies, herbs. So I started doing the research, and after doing my research, I now obviously started to change my diet, changing my diet from fast food and eating whatnot. And I could see what it was doing to my body. My skin started clearing out. I started feeling, even my mood changed. I started feeling very joyful. I just felt a lot better. And to answer your question, some of the fruits or veggies that I take to obviously enhance my skin, help my skin grow, berries. Berries contain a lot of antioxidants. They are super good for you. Blueberries, raspberries, and obviously orange. Orange has high vitamin C. And we see all our serums. You see vitamin C for your serum before you put your moisturizer. But we've got natural produce, which are berries, like I said, raspberries. We've got carrots. We can do carrot and orange and lemon. They have high vitamin C content that will obviously enhance our skin. So that's it.
I love that you mentioned berries. Very quickly, can you tell us how to clean them up? Some of us don't buy organic, you know what I'm saying? So please, can you tell us how to make sure that we are not taking in, because some of them are classified, the berries are classified as the dirty dozens. So if you can just clear that up for another person.
Yes, thank you for that. I had to research about that as well. So I used I've forgotten the name, but it's specifically for fruits. So you spray when you put your fruit in your bowl before you wash it. You spray on the food. You spray. If I get the name out, obviously, tell Coach E. You spray on the fruit, leave it for about 30 seconds, then it will be good for consumption.
Just to add, you can also use is it bicarbonate or baking soda? Yeah, you can also use that and soak it up for a lot of time, because this thing, if you don't buy organic, you have to be organic. Containing all sorts of things that we don't want to do with pesticides and things. But they're really, really good, very good. Thank you for that, and thank you for opening up so wonderfully. All right. I'm going to move quickly to Queen Esther as a skin specialist. I'm a 53-year-old at that. Let's make my skin like this. And dermatologist, you know that, as a skin specialist, you know that every woman desires a radiant, healthy skin. So in your experience, what are the foundational steps that we can take to get that glow, to achieve that glow as women?
Thank you very much. And I just want to say, every woman here is so beautiful. I've been looking at your skin because that's what I do. Everybody here, you have all got very beautiful skin. And please give your hand, give yourself a hand. When it comes to skin, skin is one of those things that you need to be very, very intentional. Because there is, especially we as mothers, the fact that obviously when we are young, adults, I would say young adults, with all the hormones that come up, and then we start having breakouts. We start, especially us as Black people as well. We have the breakouts. We have the post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation, which you normally notice as the black spots on the skin. For us as Black people, so I'm just going to relate it more to us as Black people here, because I would say almost everybody here is same color as me. We have a unique skin. Okay, and that's why I try to educate my clients. Skin health and looking good and all that kind of thing, there's so many steps that comes with it. One is consistency, but the first thing is being able to understand your skin type. All right? For us as Black people, we have a unique skin type. But each individual person in this room have got completely different skin than the other person, even if we are the same color. Okay? So the first thing is wanting to, first of all, have somebody who can educate you on your own skin types. A lot of girls do a lot of DIY, TikToks and all that kind of thing. I know we do that, but it's being able to, the same way you pay a lawyer, you pay a professional when you need professional help. I would say the first thing is to be able to get, proper education about the skin. Now, the first thing I always say to my clients is, yes, internal health is very important, but one more time, just talk briefly about what tips that you can do. understanding your skin. We have a unique skin. We have melanin-rich skin. That's the most important thing. So even if you don't damage your skin with not protecting it all these years with some protection, or you haven't used any harsh chemical creams, or you haven't done anything that is, bad to be able to damage your skin, we have a unique problem, distribution of melanin. So if everybody here in this room, if you go home, take off your makeup and just look at yourself in the mirror, the first thing you're going to see is what is called uneven skin tone. And I'm not talking about you having used any bad products or not even being consistent with your skin. So if you look at this area, right, you will notice around your jaw area, you will notice that that area is quite dark, all right? Darker than your cheek area. You will notice that that area is almost the same color with the area around your eyes, called dark circles around the eyes. The forehead area, all right, is always darker than the upper cheek area. And then here as well, because of constant sun exposure. So that is unique for every one of us as skin of color, basically. So the first thing is to correct that. We want to use product that is going to be able to help to, first of all, even out the skin tone. And I'm not talking about people with serious problematic skin, maybe severe acne, severe, pigmentary issues like melasma and things like that. I'm just talking about just us with normal skin tone. So things like vitamin C serums are great because it helps to enhance the skin. In terms of the glow of the skin, the radiance of skin, the type of vitamin C is also very important. The packaging, the consistency, the pH, the percentage, all these things are very important for you to be able to know what is great for your skin. Now things like hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid are things that is going to be able to help to, plump the skin, glow the skin, and make your skin healthy. Sun protection is very important. If you have acne skin, use something that is going to be unique to your skin. If you have dry skin, use moisturizer that is going to be able to help to improve the hydration of your skin. Skin glow is not about skin bleaching. That's not what we're talking about, okay? Somebody has got melanin-rich skin and have a healthy skin glow. It's about what products you're using, what percentage, how you combine it as well. You might be using the right actives, you might be using your tretinols, you might be, what is it right for your skin? There's certain skincare products great for the skin, but they can also have, bad effects on your skin if you don't know how to combine it with other actives. We say glycolic acid is good, lactic acid is good, phenol acid, tretinols, all these are good. But if you don't know how to use them, how to apply them, when to apply them, what to apply them with other actives as well, you can actually be doing damage to you. You could be damaging, using products that are damaging to your skin. Please don't just focus on the TikTok, stuff that you see. Or a friend has recommended she's using skincare product and it worked for her and she's recommended it to you. It might not work for you, it might actually cause you serious problems. So I would say to everybody, skin glow is from inside out. What you eat, hydrating as well. So, and also us as Black people as well, I would say, in terms of aesthetics, what I do in my business as well. We tend to feel that, injectables and certain kind of treatments might not be, black don't crack. No, these days black is cracking. So you need to maintain your skin. If you don't feed your skin, use the right things, this black is going to crack. So I would say, seek for professional help. At least go for a consultation. Let somebody tell you what you need for your skin to maintain that healthy skin glow. And I must repeat again, healthy skin glow does not mean you have to lighten your skin. Thank you.
I'm majoring on the last segment. A round of applause for her, please. Let's go on. I'm majoring on that. I love that you said it. It is not about having a bleached skin or being light. I mean, look at our gorgeous Queen Gloria. Yes, you look very gorgeous. Look at that. My younger sister too is dark, really like darker than myself. And there's never a cause to want to change anything. It's all about how you put things together, like you said, to make sure, and we're all different. Whatever works for one person will definitely not work for the other person. So no need for you to TikTok to advice. Thank you for that. I really appreciate And then glowing skin is actually from the inside, like you said. And what we majorly, the other things are just touch-ups to help and to be fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. I'm just going to move on quickly to you. Hello. And I wanted to talk about menopause. I'm going to ask you too many questions at a time so that you can just go on with it, because we have other things and we are moving on quickly. We're having a great time today. I wanted to touch on, okay, menopause, but not just menopause. I want to talk about perimenopause, because I don't think people talk about that one a lot. And that one is a lot. So please tell us what to expect for the perimenopause stage.
About it. I won't really kind of go into medical details of what it is. We just want like a kind of storytelling. Why I'm interested so much about menopause and perimenopause is that I myself experienced it a lot. Being in the medical profession, you would think when it hits, you would know everything. But it's one of the things is like a taboo. We just walk into it. A lot of women, we were taught what PMS, period, we're all prepared for it. This is what is going to happen. But most of us women will walk into it perimenopause, and it can start as early as 35. When I started my training, I used to think, even though in the medical profession, to say, I think late 40s, 50s, when people say they are going through menopause, you think it's like that, but it actually starts from 35, sometimes. And when it starts, it kicks, you don't actually know, you're not prepared for it. Some of them will have like the common one, fogginess, forgetfulness, and sometimes some extra weight around the areas you don't expect it to be. You might be walking, doing different type of exercise before that. You lose the weight. 2 weeks fasting, you lose the weight. When you're walking into perimenopause, you see they don't even shift. Another thing again is bone health, sleepless night, or the very one hot flush, where your body internally you're just burning and you don't know what is happening. And mood change. And some of us as well, how many of you sometime, I don't know, I know how old I am, sometime I just start, you place your phone somewhere, that's kind of forgetful, and you'll just tell your children, oh, I think I left my phone there, where is it? And they're all helter-skelter looking for it. And you're just sitting with it. That's forgetfulness. Sometimes fogginess as well. No, you are a boss at work. Your depression as well is there. And sometimes it might not be depression. It might just be your hormones just running riot all over the place. And you don't know. The person you used to be is just all gone. And where am I? And sometimes you don't even want to wake up in the morning to go to work. And another thing as well that happens is that probably you're a boss at work that trains so many people, you're this jolly person at work, and you get to work, nothing makes sense anymore. You don't even want to go and stuff. You say, what's going on? I will say my story, for example. When menopause hit, it hits really hard for me. I used to, enjoy playing with the kids and, just having fun with them. And all of a sudden, they just say they want more. But I'm there, I'm just staring away. It's not because I'm not interested, but because everything, I'm just lost in my own world. And again, there's something else that comes as well when you're in perimenopause. There are different, apart from losing yourself in other things you don't know. As women, our brains, we are sharper. You can see through the crack. That's like an empowerment where you feel, I think I know things clearly than what I used to know before. You can see through, kind of like discerning, in our, kind of discerning spirit and stuff like that. So you're wiser, you see things. You kind of have confidence of who you are. But all other things that they didn't tell us about, which is the fogginess, the sleep. Sometimes, you might go to the GP when your hormones are running all over the place for analysis or blood panels and stuff. There are things that you can get that we don't know that it is there, really available for us. You can go to your GP to have a blood panel. And once a blood panel is done, they can actually put you maybe on HRT or HRT medications that you can be using. But the aesthetic aspects of it, with that, we can help you with your diet, advise you on all the things that you can actually get to be the better you can manage this period, because they are really trying period. But if you know yourself and if you understand what menopause is and perimenopause and these things on, and how you can mitigate all these needs and live a better life, it is livable, that you can live your best life, glowing inside and out.
Fantastic. A round of applause for her. A few of the tests that you can do for the practical, and I'm sure estradiol test, you can do luteinizing hormone test as well to get the numbers. Those things vary, but it's important that we are aware of some of these signs so we can help ourselves. I also know a little bit around eating around your hormonal cycle. Do you want to touch on that? Because that's really quite helpful. To eat around, because when you talk about the moods, all of those fluctuations, when we get to a point within perimenopause or menopause, when you start to feel yourself, especially perimenopause, because you're still experiencing your period and things like that. So there is this way you can eat according to the stage of the cycle. So you want to touch on that, on things that you can eat at those times. Because sometimes you're craving carbs, sometimes, and sometimes too, you're not really craving carbs, you have all the energy. So there are some things you can eat at those times. You want to touch on that for practicalities.
Okay. So during those times, like in your 21-day cycle, because there are times when what is actually happening at that time is our estrogen is actually coming down, and as it depletes, the hormones, as we know, is all over the place. So eating, sometimes you might feel, you want to, as you said, the carbohydrates, you crave carbohydrates so much at that time. But what you would do at that time is to make sure berries is really, really good during this period. Different fruits like berries, strawberries, and stuff like that, it also help our hormones. But what we do that's it within medical aesthetics is that you do your blood panel, a blood panel that is personalized to you, and that is very important. So that blood panel, once it's done, you see it's like your DNA. It kind of tell you there's some kind of, maybe we all have different type of rice. We're not saying go on a diet or starve yourself. The type of rice might be my own blood panel, my own DNA, my like father rice, for example, and I cannot stand. My blood DNA cannot take basmati. So we're eating rice, but different type of rice. So at that time, so within it can help in terms of the hot flushes. Maybe if I take ofada rice, my hot flushes is better. And somebody I might take basmati, my hot flushes all over the place. So those blood paneling are very, very good to understand your blood type, what you can take at that time to give you a better. But even if you're not at the stage where you can understand your hormone or have your blood panel, you can take safe food like the berries and also fruits that are rich in antioxidants to help regulate your hormone.
You want to touch on that?
Yeah, I just want to touch on that as well. So the best way to be able to manage, and what I say to my clients as well, is to be able to, yes, those symptoms will come. So as long as you're aware of it and try to, almost like you're deliberately working against that. So when those cravings come, you know what is going on. So instead of going high on just keep eating carbohydrate, food that are rich in carbohydrate, look for other things that are going to be feeding, like fruits, vegetables, that is going to be feeding to curb that sort of urge, as opposed to eating more food that is high in carbohydrates. So look for more proteinous food, look for fruits and vegetables, look for nuts, and also look for things like what do you call it, vegetables, vitamins as well, omega-3, those sort of things are going to help, vitamin B12, D, especially with this sort of weather as well. Once we are running low on vitamin D in this weather, this is the time that we try to crave more and to feed, So this is the time that we need to intentionally work against what we are actually feeling. Otherwise, we're just going to see ourselves, putting on that weight.
Fantastic. A round of applause for them. And as Black women, we tend to actually think that because of melanin, we don't really need vitamin D that much. Can I just tell us, please, that is that if you don't even test for anything at all in the hospital, please, when you go, just tell them, I just want to know what my vitamin D is saying in my body. It's really important because a lot of Black women have low vitamin D, and especially in this season that we have entered, autumn and winter, it goes further down and it controls a lot of things around this, our hormone. You can imagine that you do like an uptake of your vitamin D and then all of a sudden you become a happy human being and you start realizing that it was just that was causing the problem. It has a lot to do with our hormonal fluctuations and things like that. So please, I'm happy that they've mentioned that. So it's something for us to look at as well. So thank you again. Moving on very quickly to Gloria. As a single mom, you're really looking lovely, glowing. Nobody can even see anything to you at all about your visual demands. But I just want to know the specific struggles that have shaped your journey so far and how you have transformed your moments into strength and into beauty. Yes.
Hi everyone again. Hello. So I want to take us back to right back to the beginning, Genesis 1:28. And it says, and God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it. Meaning, being a single mom is not my identity, but having children is part of the purpose of God. Okay, so I have 2 girls, it's part of the purpose, so I have to, God is the one that enables me to take care of them because it's part of his plan. Number 1. So, can you go back to your question again? You said, what are the struggles? Sorry sis, you said what were the struggles?
Struggles and how you have transformed them to a place.
So,
Very quickly. And if I could just watch, if when you finish that, just give us with one comment that we can go home with.
Piece of
Same
advice.
with the rest of it too, so that we can wrap up quickly.
I'll do that for you.
Thank you.
So I'll say, most importantly, is having community. Okay, it's not been a struggle. I've actually been very blessed. I have my parents who have been amazingly wonderful. And to be honest with you, I haven't actually felt like I'm a single mom. Because I've got so much support. My number 1 person I'm going to say is right there. Sis, can you please stand up? We need to give you a standing ovation. Sister Mankini. I was going to say this for your big birthday, but I have to say it today. Thank you so much for always standing with me, for being there. She literally, 2 years ago, my parents had the children, I was at work, and they had to go somewhere, so they left the girls with a neighbour, close to a friend. This neighbour then called me, which we know, and said, I need to go to bed now, can you please come and get the girls? And I think it was about 10 o'clock, past 10. And I just called her, I called another friend, the friend didn't answer, or even call me back the next day. But she answered, and with her, once she's had a shower and she's in bed, she's not going anywhere. But that day she stood up. I didn't even have to say, please, please. She stood up and she went, picked up my girls, brought them to her house, and because of that act of love, it was very inconvenient for you, very inconvenient. You were lying next to your husband. And you did that for me. Thank you so, so much. I don't know how many people would do that or just say, give an excuse. So I really appreciate you. Thank you so much for being there. And I think in terms of my life, I'm a go-getter. So even before getting married and having children, Like, I need to know what's going on each year. I'm planning, I'm going ahead, I'm thinking, what am I doing? What's the target, what we're doing next? And so, regardless of being with a man or not being with a man, I'm just fulfilling purpose. I went back to school, so I already trained. I'm a broadcast journalist. I was going in the direction of being a television newscaster before I got married, but I left all of that for marriage. And then after that, I decided to become a midwife. So that's how I entered into this field. But I give God the praise because I'm not where I used to be. I'm not where I should be, but I know where God is taking me. And watch this space, because it's people that you think that don't look like it are always the ones that God lifts. Are always the underdogs. They're always the ones that God lifts. So when you're around people that you think are, oh, single mom, just be very, very mindful, because that single mom could be the person that you'll be knocking the door asking for a job for, or needing something for, or requiring something, or advice. God bless you all.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Surround yourself with people who really care for you and who really have your best interests at heart. Thank you for that. Support system is very important. Again, God, of course, ultimately, God has been your sustainer. So, to all the single moms, trust the Lord, surround yourself with lovely people. And for the rest of us, let's stay kind to everyone. All right, very lovely. Debbie, I'm going to just ask you one question. And please, you also give us your final comments so that we can move on quickly. What are the practical steps that stay-at-home moms can take to stay productive and purposeful? Because you mentioned that initially, so just give us the practical steps and then leave us with a final comment. Thank you.
So having systems and structures around the day, I tell the moms I speak to, like the CEO of their life. So don't just live your life just with kids. Have something that's, this is Debbie time. My children know Debbie time, mommy time. They know mommy's time cannot be interrupted. They know mommy's building mommy. So mommy's building mommy. Mommy's not just building the family. And I'm very, very jealous about that time. So if there's no interruption, obviously I wouldn't choose a time where there would be an interruption. So if it means me waking up at 4 a.m. to go to my office to try and do some productive work for Debbie, not for the family per se. So it's the whole thing about don't forget. So yes, your kids will be small, or your kids will be young, but do you have a plan for when they get out of your nest? Do you have a plan for when they get the independence that they get? Do you have a plan that says that, okay, at the age of 6, this child should be able to have a bath by herself, do this by herself? So what are you going to be doing? So for every stage that my children are in, I know how available, and how independent they should be. And then every time I give them independence, I take that time back to build Debbie, because it's important that I build Debbie. They're going to need me in the next 10 years. They're going to need me in a couple of years. And I don't want to be at the end of the day where they've left me and what have I done with my life? So that's what keeps me productive. Maybe also because, I've done a calculation in 15 years, I'm going to be 60. And I'm like asking, so when I'm 60 and these kids are out of the house, am I just going to be, I've seen, it's not judgment, listen, but I've seen so many women who will leave their lives for their children, and when the children are out of the house, there's absolutely nothing, and they become resentful, they become angry, they become, they've shrunk so much and they've forgotten their dreams. So that's what I'll say.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Stay curious, stay learning, make sure there's no gap, even if you're at home looking after your kids, because when they leave, of course, you don't want to look at yourself and wonder. And that fits in a very good way to your own expertise. Please talk to us, Ronnie, about practical ways we can develop ourselves, because you're a personal development life coach. What are the things that we can do to grow from the inside in that aspect? Because of course your mental capabilities are also important when it comes to growing from the inside, and I'm sure that's the whole strength. So please, in 1 minute, just talk to us about that and give us something to take away before we welcome Pastor Moore very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, very lovely ladies, for sharing your words of wisdom. I really, really learned a lot. Just to give a quick recap on really what it is I do, because when people hear life coach, their mind just goes so many ways. So specifically, as a transformational coach, my work really is to help you break free from long-standing emptiness and unfulfillment, to really build and create your dreams so you can live a life you truly love. Because just like Debbie said, a lot of us have forgotten who we are, what we want to do. Why? Because current circumstances and situations and condition has derailed us, and we wake up and we exist. We live like a robot. Or for some people, they pour all the energy into work and they're very successful at work. But their health is suffering, their relationships are crumbling, they don't have any time freedom. And I mean, how do you exist in that form? The whole idea is to live holistically, to live in harmony, where every domain of your life is thriving. And it is possible. It is not something that is a far reach. It can be doable. I happen to be certified in a proven success system. It is a proven, reliable system. Step-by-step processes that you can actually use to achieve that harmony and achieve your dreams. And if I'm to talk about one thing that we can do, our able host talked about mentality, and she's not wrong. There are certain things that we call paradigms. Now, we may have known about them, we may have heard about them, but what they really are, paradigms are a set of limited beliefs and patterns, feelings, actions that have stuck with us for the longest time, that we don't even know they're there. Maybe from when we grew up, there are certain things that we've been told and conditioned to believe is true, and we've let it run our lives every single step of the way. And the first step to try to achieve anything is to get rid of those paradigms, that programming, and reinstall new ones, and that's how you start to see a difference. So one takeaway today would be, pay attention to your thoughts. Whatever you're thinking is what you will manifest. You're not a wizard. No, I was thinking it and that's why it actually happened. I was right. No. When you think it becomes your reality. Because the truth is, your subconscious mind does not know the difference between imagination and reality. Your subconscious thinks it is happening. You know, there's this thing they say, fake it till you make it. What they actually mean is imagine it, believe it until it becomes a reality. And when you keep telling your mind negative, your mind will materialize negativity, and it's the opposite. If you think positive, no matter what is happening around you, no matter how bad things may seem, you keep that positive mindset, eventually it would manifest. So what I would say is, pay attention to your thoughts.
Wow.
That's my take.
That's a good place to land this. Pay attention to your thoughts. Speaking better cognition, think about your thoughts is very important. Observe them. Because if you don't think right, you can actually blow from the inside, like we are told today. Everything starts from the mind, which that's why it's just a good place to land this. Whatever we are doing along this spectrum, developing ourselves, taking foods, taking care of the skin, all of those practical things, menopause, size, and all of that, blood panel, all of those things, we never really materialize that much if our mindset is still stuck on we can't be healthy or we can't live a full life. So the mindset is important. Think about your thoughts. So thank you everyone. A round of applause for all our panelists. We'll get back to them.